So what happened is we met in in Path of Love, that was in Pune, India. It was the end of 2009, and he was coming from the States and I was coming from Greece, meeting there, and we were in a very, I was in a very difficult point of my life. So for me, Path of Love, it was like the thing I went in to really heal myself. So there was a moment that in this structure, it's a very intense process, Path of Love, that we came together and it was like really like an explosion. It was really like very, very strong. So there was a rule in the workshop. You could not go with someone at least for 3 months with the participants. And anyway, we're in India. I was going back in Greece and he would continue traveling in India. But we had a few days together and we really sticked in the rule. We weren't supposed to make love. So then what happened is like he left and then we stayed connected through emails and stuff, and then after 6 months we met in Greece, and then this is where it kind of all started. But the thing is, for me, that was a dream, let's say, come true. In what sense? Like my whole life, when I was like 23, 24 years old and I became a sannyasi and I was reading also books and doing workshops, I read to one book this, what also is talking about the soulmate. I even remember the scene. I was in a beach, in a Greek beach, and I was just reading the book, and it was like, like it was like, wow. It was something like really cleansed inside me, and I was like, okay, this is what I want. But that kind of stayed in the back of my head, and then I was keep on following my process with groups and workshops and all kind, and to some point I did also some Tantra groups, and I was always, there was this longing. I was looking for my soulmate. I was looking for a partner that would want to walk this path. So then when we met and we start being together, we started talking more and more. We didn't know, it was very funny because we didn't know any details about each other. We only, because in Path of Love it was mainly our essence, our truth. There was no details about if you have sisters, where did you live, what kind of job you do. There was nothing there. So the communication from the very beginning, it was very clear and essential, because this is what Path of Love, one main part is like, you really communicate your truth. So we started with this base, which was very important for me. Plus, like, when we met, he started telling me about his Taoist background. And he was the first man, like, I had a book. It was a test to my men. I had a Taoist sexology book. And I would give the book and see if the man is going to read it. And usually most of my men, they would just like say, see it, and like, okay, and maybe they would, see 2 or 3 pages and they will never read it. And he was the first one reading the whole thing out. I was like, okay, that's a good sign. So anyway, to make it shorter, we started traveling together and attending different workshops and trainings in different places in the world. And somehow this is how we started being in a relationship.